Hi, guys. Happy Monday. I am so happy to be here with you today for the 45-minute yoga flow to wake up and energize. I realize for a lot of us, it's already lunchtime or maybe even in the afternoon, but hey, I think your body can take a waking up any point during the day, especially today. You see that I have my fireplace on, or maybe. I don't know if that shows, but I have my fireplace on because it was rainy yesterday. And so today it's kind of that muggy, kind of tired, sleepy weather, in which case I usually want to curl up. But I do also want to get some things done for the rest of the day. So let's wake up and energize together. The sequence was actually inspired by the rain, that big rainfall that we had last night. It just feels so good when all of the streets are swept clean of the dust, the grass is watered, and everything's all dewy. So let's get that sense of aliveness and refreshedness for ourselves as well. You don't really need anything. You can have your blocks or books available for you if you know that you like to practice with your blocks or your books. All right. Without further ado, let's do this. Go ahead, sit with your legs crossed in Sukhasana, hands cupped over your knees, or your palms face the sky. Again, if your knees are sore or tired or injured, just stretch them out. And if that low back is screaming at you today, take a thin block or just a small book and place it underneath, or the bigger block underneath your sit bone. And on your inhale, you inhale. Exhale. Allow your eyes to fall closed and just let everything just drape. And immediately almost emerge into the sense of effortlessness, of quickly settling into what feels good, what feels comfortable. And as you take the first few breaths, allow yourself to arrive. And as you arrive, it's almost like as if you can feel your body sinking back, or feel yourself sinking back into your body, the sit bones more substantial against the texture of your mat. Your arms hang heavy right over top of your knees. And perhaps you begin to notice more sensation around your body that you otherwise would have kind of bypassed or moved on with autopilot on in your day to day. Just notice what you notice as you continue to sink back into your body. Maybe you sense that behind your eyelids, it feels a little bit sleepy, a little bit tired. Or you realize that maybe you've been staring at a screen for the last 4 or 5 hours, and this is the first time your eyes are getting a break. Maybe you notice the sensation on the insides of your hands, the bottoms of your feet. And just notice if there's anywhere within your body that you're holding tension. Simply in your mind's eye, ask it to soften, especially along the neck and the shoulders, especially along the inner edges of your legs and your hips. And as if you're trying to collect all the heaviness, all the tension, all that does not serve you. Become aware of all those areas at once, wherever they may live in your body. And let's take two, no, three releasing breaths. Well, first, long, deep inhale through your nose. And don't hold back. Exhale, side out through your mouth. Letting go that tension. All that does not serve you. One more time. Long, deep inhale through your nose. Fill up your heart, fill up your lungs. One more sip of air, deep breath, and exhale. Sighing that out. Taking your time to let every single bit of that stale air out. Last one at your own pace. Long, deep inhale through your nose. Full, deep breath. Take an extra sip in and exhale. Slide. And now that you've tuned into your breath, just noticing how it just naturally becomes a little fuller, a little bit longer, all on its own once you give it the chance to release. Soften the space between your brows, soften your eyelids, your jaws. Let's do 3 rounds of equal breathing, especially if you've had quite the Monday already. I know Mondays are sometimes a little bit, what should we, I don't want to say that they're hard, but they can be pretty active or maybe even a little bit loud depending on what's happened with your day. So, 3 equal breaths, equal breathing exercise to help clear out any residual tension that may still be living within you. Let's breathe in for a count of 4. So, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath at the top and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. And we'll inhale for 5. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold at the top. And slowly exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Of course, if 4 counts is perfect for you, just stay with the 4 counts. But otherwise, let's move on to 6. For 1, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Resume normal breathing. Just take a few moments here. Notice what you notice. Sink in deeper. Sink in with the realization or the re-recognition of knowing that you're here now. You have arrived, and allow yourself to steep in that sense of freedom, that sense of relief, in knowing that this here, right now, is perfect. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to be doing anything else. You don't need to be anybody else. Just being as you are is so perfect right now. I did this in last Thursday's class, and I know today's a flow. Well, let's do the same thing. Anytime you're on your mat, this is for you. This is your practice. So, any armor that you happen to wear in the outer world, anything that you put on yourself so that you can anticipate, so that you can put out fires, so that you can expect. Take all of that heaviness off. Imagine yourself taking all of that off in whatever shape or form that might come in. And just ditch it off to the side, leaving it maybe by your door or by your stairs, knowing that if you so choose, you can definitely pick that up later. But for now, you just get to be. Okay, on your next breath, gently inhale, flutter your eyes open, arms up toward the sky, reach up, stretch up. And exhale, if you'd like, you can reach forward and draw your belly button to the spine. Inhale, rise all the way back up. A nice morning stretch, especially if you had to hit the ground running this morning and you didn't get a chance to do your morning stretch. Eventually, let your hands come down and just get yourself into a child's pose right away. So, the wider your knees are, the deeper the hip opening you're going to get. Choose however much you need, however much you'd like. Draw your sit bones towards your heels, stretch your arms straight out in front of you, and we'll keep a sense of energy about this. So keep your elbows up off of the mat. Tense your fingers so that the pads of your fingers are reaching toward the top of the mat. Long, deep inhale into your side body. And exhale. Nice. And one more long, deep inhale into the back side of your body, opening up the backs of your lungs, the backs of your heart, anything that feels stagnant or stuck back there. And exhale. Nice. If you'd like, at this point in time, you can allow your elbows to come down onto the ground and just take a moment here as you completely allow yourself to melt into and be supported by the mat underneath you. Maybe rock your forehead from side to side. Not only is it a nice forehead massage, but it helps kind of remind you or make you become aware of the connection between you and the mat and in turn the earth. Completely grounded. And also the connection between you and your whole body, from the crown of your head all the way down through your backside, your hips, and down to your toes, and from your toes all the way up to your fingertips. Noticing your whole body. And then tense your fingers, lift your forehead. Let's get into the side body a little bit. Come over toward the right hand side. Allow your forehead to come back down. It may or may not come down. You can allow it to hover, or you can place a block underneath your forehead if you'd like. And if you want a little more than that, then go ahead, plant that left hand over top of your right, breathing into your left side body and actively drawing that left hip down towards your left heel. On your next inhale, take a deep inhale into the left side body, just the left side body. Expand. Exhale, relax, and then tense your fingers, lift your forehead, come on over toward the left hand side. Again, you can use a block underneath your forehead or not. And this time, noticing the right hip drawing down toward the right ankle. Right hand plants over top of the left if you want just a tad more. And then breathe your next inhale into your right side body, just that right side body expanding. Exhale, relax. Pinch your fingers, lift your forehead, come on toward the center of the mat. Inhale, rise up, tabletop position, and then tuck your toes underneath the mat, hips up toward the sky, your first downward dog of the day. Pedal out your feet, left, right, left. Find any movement that you'd like. We'll take our free flow here. So you can go rogue. I encourage you to go rogue. Have a little bit of fun. See what it feels like if you were to spread your feet out toward mat width apart. Maybe your hands to mat distance apart. Maybe lifting one leg up into the air, maybe opening up that hip by bringing a bend into that knee, whatever feels good to you. And then eventually come into stillness. In your stillness, find your foundation. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Fingers slightly webbed, but not unnaturally so, just slightly. And you're pressing down through all 10 fingertips and your knuckles, especially your forefingers and your thumbs. This helps protect your wrists as well as it spreads the weight evenly between your arms. Come high up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, draw your heels back down. The heels may or may not touch, and that's okay. Slowly walk your feet up toward your hands. And ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Rock your body from side to side and up and down. Shake your head yes and no. Of course, if you need a bend in your knees to alleviate that low back, go ahead, take a bend in your knees. And eventually just dangle. Find space in your upper body, especially that area between your neck and your shoulders that usually gets so tight. And then allow your arms to completely dangle. If you haven't already let go of them, shake off anything else that you might be gripping onto. And inhale, flat back, look forward, hands on your shins or hands on the ground. Exhale, fold forward again, bringing a slight bend into your knees if you'd like, if you need. Imagining a ribbon coming up from your tailbone, gently tugging upwards, encouraging your back leg line to open up. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fingertips toward the ground. Step back with that left foot. Nice low lunge on the right hand side. You can go ahead and sway forward and back. Just little micro movements if you want a little bit more of an opening. And then plant your hands down, step back, high plank, flow through, lower down, Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Long, deep inhale, press your hands down and up into the mat, lengthen that spine, and exhale. Long, deep inhale, lift your hips, just your hips up toward the sky, point the backs of your legs toward the wall or the door behind you. And exhale. Bring your gaze towards your left ankle. And then begin to lift your right hand, reach all the way back towards your left ankle, hanging onto your ankle or your calf, taking a little bit of side body stretch here. Your gaze, if you can, underneath that left armpit. And both hands back into downward dog. Take your gaze towards your right ankle. Reach back with your left hand. Take hold of that right ankle. If you can, take a peek underneath that right armpit. Keep pressing down between your fingertips and your knuckles with that right hand. Nice. Downward dog. This time you might bring a bend into your knees. You might come high up onto your tippy toes, and you can either hop or walk toward the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, arms up toward the sky. Interlace all 10 fingers. Release the index. Let's take a little deeper of a side body opening. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, and exhale, come on over toward the right-hand side. Notice the fronts of your hips. If they were headlights, make them point straight toward the wall directly opposite of you. There's a tendency sometimes to swing back with that right hip. So whatever straight feels like to you. Let that right hand guide the left a little further. And inhale, rise all the way up. Nice. Exhale over toward the left hand side. Again, noticing your hips, squaring them off directly toward the front of your mat. Allow the left hand to guide your right just a tad further. And inhale, rise up, reach up, hands to heart center, palms face forward. Let's do a little bit of a back bend. Inhale, arms come all the way up toward the sky. Same thing here, interlace all 5 fingers, release the index, relax your shoulders. Sometimes your shoulders want to help so much that they shrug up to your ears. So relax those shoulders away from the ears. This pose, as strong as it is, still has some ease. Bring a deep bend into your knees to protect that low back. And as if you're trying to lift your heart up onto a shelf that's slightly higher than your chin, go ahead, bring that heart up and over that imaginary shelf, your gaze toward the back door. Slight back bend. Inhale, Come back to standing, hands to heart center, palms face forward. And inhale, arms up toward the sky. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, peace fingers over your big toes if you can for a forward fold. Release your hold from the big toes, hands plant to either side of that left foot. And step back with that right foot, low runner's lunge on the opposite side. Maybe rocking up and down if you'd, or forward and back if you'd like. A little bit more of an opening for your right hip flexor. Nice. And then plant your hands, step back, high plank, flow through, lower down, Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. This time, bring your big toes to touch in downward dog and slowly peel onto the outer edge, the knife edge of that right foot. Keep your both hands just as engaged, and you'll feel an opening through your left side body. Inhale, toes come back to center and over toward the outer left edge of that left foot. Keep firming down with both arms. Those arms are getting heated. Come on back to downward dog. Long, deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. Bring a bend into your knees. Come high up onto your tippy toes. And if you're ready, hop or step toward the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Feel the opening. The difference between your back leg line now versus the very first forward fold that we did. And then inhale, arms up toward the sky. Hands to heart center. Palms face forward. Okay. Taking a breath here to notice the harmony within your body. Strength and softness, right? Strength coming up through your legs, your torso, all the way up through the crown of your head. And softness, shoulders melt away from your ears. There's a softness behind your knees. So your knees aren't popping out behind you or anything like that. And when you're ready, inhale, arms up toward the sky, gaze between your thumbs. We're gonna flow. Exhale, swan, dive down toward the ground. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step toward the back of the mat. Flow through, lower down, Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale that right leg up toward the sky. Bring a bend into that right knee. Peel open into that right hip. Draw that left ear away from your left shoulder. Bring that leg back to center. Gaze toward the top of the mat in between both hands. And on your next exhale, nice, gentle, and as gracefully as you can, sweep that right foot in between both hands. Inhale, rise up, full sole, that left foot down on the mat. Warrior one. Take a moment here as you align your right knee, if you can, to your right ankle, if you can. Inhale. And exhale, open up, warrior two. You're slightly shifting that left foot so that that left foot points toward the long edge of your mat. Keep the engagement in your right knee so much so that that right knee comes in line with that right ankle, if you can. Strong gaze in past your right fingertips. And left hand on your left leg, reach back, keep engagement in that right leg, exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And next breath, right elbow on your right leg. Inhale, left arm up and overhead, extended side angle. If you'd like, you can open up your wings. If you're opening up your wings, this is a good place actually to have a block or a book underneath that right foot to give you a little bit of height. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Straighten out that right leg. Draw yourself toward the front of the mat and lower down, triangle pose. Feels so good for the outer edge of your left hip, especially if it's feeling tight. If you have your book or block toward the inner edge of that right foot, you can keep it there. And maintain the height. You want the length from the outside of your hips all the way through. to the crown of your head. You want to be engaging the right side body as much as you are the left. So length on both sides. Inhale, rise all the way up. Nice. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. So your feet are slightly pigeon-toed. They're more or less pointed toward each other. Inhale, stand tall. And exhale slowly. Always move slowly. Forward fold. Eventually, your hands come down onto the ground. If it's easy for you to plant your hands on the ground, maybe you work your way down onto your elbows. And this first one, we're just going to let ourselves dangle. Give yourself that space between your neck and your shoulders, just like we did in ragdoll. At the same time, noticing the slight opening through the inner edges of your legs, maybe even coming out through the outsides of your calves and shooting out your pinky toes. One more breath. Long, deep inhale. And exhale. Nice. Inhale. Flat back. Belly button to your spine, hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Pivot, left toes toward the back of the mat. We're going to use all edges of our mat today. Open up, nice and strong. Warrior two, right foot points directly toward the long edge of the mat. Keep this engagement. Work on the engagement of your left leg so that that left knee even comes in line with that left ankle. Notice your upper body. Sometimes this feels easier when we pull forward or like if we lean back. So keep yourself nice and strong in the center. Right hand to right leg, reach back with your left. Keep that engagement. Exalted warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Left elbow on your left leg. Inhale, right arm up and over your right ear. Extended side angle if you'd like. You can open up your wings. Maybe take a block toward the inner edge of that left foot this time. Extended side angle is such a nice opening for your side body, but it also strengthens, you're probably feeling it, your calves, your ankles. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Nice. Straighten out that left leg. Draw your front body toward the back of your mat and lower down. Trikonasana. Length from your outer right hip all the way through to the crown of your head. Don't forget about your left side body. Activate that left side body as well. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat. This time, clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. Energize. And exhale, forward fold. Crown of your head toward the top of the mat. If you're ready, when you're ready, bring those clasped hands up and overhead. Of course, if it feels like as if your bones are grinding upon each other and it does not feel good when you bring your arms up overhead, then just simply leave them by your sacrum. See, if your arms are overhead, see if you can draw them overhead just a tad more. Find that edge. I used to say yoga teachers, but I guess I'm one of them too. So us yoga teachers, we usually tell you to find your edge. That is such a place of wisdom, of knowing how far you can push yourself so that you're not um, being too easy on yourself, but not too hard on yourself so that you don't push yourself to the point of injury. Okay, hands come back down towards your sacrum. Release the clasp, hands to either side of your hips. Take a moment here. Firm your belly button to your spine. Inhale, rise all the way back up with a flat back. Nice. Pivot your right toes back toward the front of the mat and windmill your hands over top that right foot. Step back. Flow through. Lower down. Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Long, deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. Bring a bend into your knees. Come high up onto your tippy toes. Hop or step toward the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Step back with that right foot back. So your high lunge left knee is in front. And same thing here. Maybe you rock back and forth, noticing if there's any lengthening that you feel in the right hip flexor compared to the very first one that you did. And we're here not only to build heat, but to also start toning our belly button to our spine. You're going to have to activate that core strength as you kind of do a lunge switch. I kind of made that name up. I think it's called a lunge switch. Either way, it's here to activate your core. It's here to start bringing heat into your practice. So whenever you're ready, go ahead, inhale, belly button to your spine, and switch legs as softly as you can. If you need to step it, step it. Otherwise, if you can hop it, switch. Nice. Take some time here. Maybe rock back and forth. Always move slow. Even when we're using bursts of energy, always move slow and take the time to gauge for that body awareness so that you can practice safely. Okay. Eventually find stillness when you're ready, belly button to your spine and landing as softly as you can. Switch. Left foot in front, switch. Right foot in front, switch. Left foot in front, right foot in front. Nice. Plant your hands down to either side of that right foot. Step back, flow through. Lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. You can take any variation at any time. Long, deep inhale. And exhale. And then inhale that left leg up toward the sky. Bring a bend into that left knee. Open up into that left hip. Draw your right ear away from your right shoulder. And left leg comes back behind you. Gaze in between both hands. And as gracefully and softly as you can, draw that left foot in between both hands. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Warrior one. Hands to heart center. Keep that left leg engaged. And hands clasped behind you. Humble warrior. Inhale, clasp your hands behind you, heart up toward the sky. Energize as you take your next breath. And exhale, crown of your head toward the inner edge of that left foot. When you're ready, if you're ready, clasp hands, come up and overhead. Releasing tension from the shoulders, releasing tension from the chest, which actually in turn releases tension from the shoulder. And also opening up that heart space for energy. Hands come down towards your sacrum. Release the hands to the inner edge of that left foot and inhale, rise up, spiraling up into a nice, strong, very strong warrior two. Strong gaze past your left fingertips. Notice the trunk of your body, that you're not pulling forward because sometimes that's easy, and you're not leaning back because sometimes that's easy. Nice, strong fingers reaching from side to side. Nice, tall torso reaching from the earth all the way up toward the sky. Wrap that left hand or right hand behind you and reach that left hand back behind you for an exalted warrior variation. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, left elbow on your left leg. Inhale, right arm up and overhead. You've got 5 whole breaths here in your extended side angle. So move into any variation that you'd like. Noticing your breath, still taking those long, deep inhales. Long, deep exhales. And inhale, rise all the way back up. Warrior two, straighten out that left leg, draw yourself toward the front of the room, and lower down, Trikonasana, your second triangle pose. So again, you don't really want to reach for your ankles at the cost of any length through your side body. So maybe your hand lands on your calf or your ankle instead. In fact, imagine yourself trying to lean back into an imaginary wall behind you. Notice your right shoulder stacking right over top of your left. Keep that left torso engaged. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Nice. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat, hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, stand tall. And exhale, fold forward. Eventually, your hands come down onto the mat. And instead of coming down onto your elbows this time, actually come up with a flat back and tense your fingers. Use your hands to walk you all the way toward the right foot. And as you come over toward the right leg, bring a bend into your right knee. Allow your left toes to come up toward the sky. Yeah, a nice opening through your inner leg line. Your hands help you walk all the way toward the left foot. Right toes point up toward the sky. Again, moving slow, just gauging, noticing how that inner leg line feels. Move at your own pace, about 3 more of these as we warm up, really warm up the inner edges of your legs. And at one point, maybe you're feeling pretty energized by now. No hands, hands to heart center. You kind of move back and forth, and back and forth. And the next time that you land on the right hand side, stay there. Left toes point up toward the sky, right foot down on the ground. Well, your heel can be lifted, or if you can, your heel down. Open up, right arm toward the outer edge of that right leg. Inhale, left arm up toward the sky. If you want to give it a shot, take a bind. Left hand behind your back, right arm wraps over and under your right knee. Eventually, your hands clasp together. Gently release the clasp. Open your arms right back wide out to twist. And hands or no hands, make your way over toward the left hand side. Right toes point up toward the sky. Left arm toward the inner edge of that left leg and inhale. Right arm up toward the sky. If you want to give it a shot, take a bind. Right hand behind your back. Left arm under your left leg. And eventually, maybe your hands clasp together. Gently release the bind. Inhale, left arm back out toward the left-hand side and right arm up toward the sky. Hands walk you back into a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, belly button to your spine. Hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up with a flat back. Pivot, right toes toward the back of the mat. Open up, warrior two. Again, nice, strong warrior two. You've got time here, so take your time as you steady your fingertips. Almost like as if you're trying to reach for either side of the walls beside you. Your legs are strong too. It's like as if you're trying to break that mat in half as you stretch both feet to opposite directions. Tall through the torso. And the next breath, left hand behind your back towards your right hip and reach back. Keep the engagement in the right leg. Exalted warrior. Inhale. Extended side angle. Right elbow on your right leg. Inhale, left arm up and over your left ear. Maybe you open up your wings. You've got time. You've got 5 whole breaths here. And inhale, rise all the way back up. Straighten out that right leg. Nice. Draw yourself toward the back of the mat and lower down, Trikonasana. Again, it's not so much as to whether or not your hand can reach that right foot or not. It might land on the calf or the ankle. You want length through the torso. So imagine that there's a wall behind you and you're trying to flatten yourself against that wall. Nice, long torso. And if you can do so without cranking your neck, your gaze gently up toward the ceiling. Notice this time the left shoulder stacking over top of the right. And inhale, rise all the way back up. Nice. Hands on either side of your hips. Pivot both feet once again toward the long edge of your mat. Inhale, stand tall, and exhale, fold forward. One last wide-legged forward fold. Maybe coming down onto your elbows. For some of you, maybe your forehead or the crown of your head touches the ground. Take time here to recover and find a sense of rest. And then inhale, come back up onto the palms of your hands, belly button to your spine. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Okay, we're coming into Skandasana, God of War pose. I love it because it can make you feel so powerful. And it feels powerful because you have to use your power. So remember, activate your core, belly button to your spine. First, start with that right foot pointing start with that left foot pointing slightly toward the front of the mat. And you take a bend into that right foot, kind of like what we did at the last time when we took a bend into that right knee and we allowed the left toes to come up. This time, though, you're going to do it without hands. Hands to heart center. As you push your right sit bone back, allow that left toes to come up toward the sky. And if you're feeling up to, you can absolutely use your hands to help you for support or be on a block for support. If you're feeling up to it, maybe you spread your arms wide out. Keep drawing your sit bone back behind you. Keep activating that right leg. Nice. You can use your hands, or if you're feeling up to it, hands back to heart center and switch to the other side. Left toes to the long edge of the mat and right foot toward the back of the mat. Keep pressing that left sit bone back, full sole of that left foot on the mat. And inhale, arms right wide out beside you. Belly button to your spine. Nice. Inhale, hands to heart center. Come back to standing. Pivot your right toes toward the back of the mat and your left foot toward the 45 degrees. What am I trying to say? 45 degrees. Arms up toward the sky. Warrior one. Woo. Hands to heart center. Clasp your hands back behind you. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. And exhale, humble warrior. Crown your head toward the inner edge. That right foot. Clasp your hands together. And if you're ready, when you're ready, clasp hands come up and overhead. See if you can find your edge here, drawing those clasped hands a little bit higher up. Again, if this feels like as your bones are grinding upon each other, just simply allow your hands to come back down towards your sacrum. And no matter where you are, move slow. Take time for body awareness of knowing where you are today. Gently release your hands, hands to either side of that right foot. Step back. You're facing the back of your mat now. Flow through, lower down. Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Long, deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. Nice job. Gently come down onto your knees. Swivel yourself toward the front of the mat. Draw the soles of your feet together. And butterfly pose. Hang on to the outer edges of your feet to begin with. And if you're so inclined to, you want a little bit more, we already done a lot for the inner leg line. You can still fold forward for a little bit more. Tuck your chin towards your chest and bring a sense of introspection back into your practice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And moving slowly now, use your hands to draw your knees back together. Roll all the way back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side if that feels good. Let's finish off with a gentle twist. Both feet come back down onto the mat. Shift your hips over toward the right and slowly, always slowly, allow your knees to come over toward the left. Maybe that left hand comes over that right leg for some support, for anchoring. Your right arm out, back beside you. Your gaze past your right shoulder. Inhale, knees come back to center. Nice. Shift your hips over toward the left and allow your knees to slowly fall over toward the right. Your right hand over your left leg. Your gaze past your left shoulder. Breath slowing down. Pace slows back down. And then gently allow your knees to come all the way back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze yourself into a tight little ball, maybe so much so that that forehead comes up and it tries to meet the knees. Squeeze every single part of you. Curl your toes. Make fists with your hands, activating every part of you. And on your next exhale, exhale. Allow your legs to come out in front of you, your arms down beside you. Shavasana. Nice. Making any final adjustments, maybe a little tweak with where your hips are, with where your hands are. And then let's settle in here. One, releasing breath, a long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh it out, letting go of all that does not serve you. And then sink in, sink down as we take Shavasana to allow our practice to integrate. First, noticing the subtle shifts within your body. Maybe a body scan from your head to your toes, noticing how everything feels in this moment. And then completely let go. Just sink into the mat. Notice a softening throughout your whole body, from your head all the way to your toes. Softening throughout your whole body. And come back to that recognition that there is nowhere more perfect for you to be. There is nothing more perfect for you to do than to be here right now. Allow yourself to complete your practice with three of the deepest, fullest breaths that you've taken all day long. And then begin to reawaken. Bringing movement back into your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. And maybe eventually your arms come up overhead for a nice deep stretch. And as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest, your arms around your knees. Rock from side to side and eventually tip on over to one side or another. And use your hands to help you up into a seated position. As you arrive, hands come to heart center, bow in towards yourself. Closing your eyes one last time as you take a moment here to recognize yourself for showing up on your mat today, for giving yourself this time to just be. And then feeling refreshed, renewed, and energized. Gently flutter your eyelids open. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I can't wait to see you again next week. Namaste.